Good morning. My name's Todd Clarke, and I'll be one of the two instructors guiding you through the next 10 sessions of CCIM's 102 Market Analysis course. I'm joined this week by Alex Johnson from Plano, Texas. Alex has also got an introduction that you'll see a little bit later today. I come from Albuquerque, New Mexico. In fact, I'm the fourth generation in my family to do commercial real estate in Albuquerque. Some of Albuquerque's competitive advantages include hosting the International Balloon Fiesta, an event that happens 2 weeks out of the year and brings over 1 million visitors who come and watch thousands of balloons as they ascend into the sky. Some unusual things about New Mexico: we have more lightning strikes than anywhere else in the country. And the mountains that are located in the middle of my mile-high city are called the Sandias, which is Spanish for watermelon, and that's the color they turn every afternoon as the sun starts to set. 101, in the CCIM 101 course, it was about knowing the deal inside and out. This piece of real estate, and I like to collect pictures of real estate from all over the world, is located in London. Now, you can see as she's entering it on the left, this fine building here, that it is entirely opaque. You cannot see into this facility. But once she gets inside, she knows the deal inside and out. And that's what we did in 101. We studied all of the core benchmarks: cap rates, gross rent multipliers, internal rates of return, net present value, and we were able to apply all of those benchmarks to a real estate deal and figure out what makes it tick. But what 101 did not teach us is where's the best location. Why, for example, might I go to Orange County, California, or San Diego, California, and buy a deal at a 7% cap rate, or maybe even a 6% cap rate, and not go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I might be able to find something at a 9 cap rate, or Columbus, Ohio, at a 10 or even 11% cap rate? 101 would say go to where the highest cap rate is. In 102, we start to look at location analysis and understand that there are other things going on in our investment decision above and beyond those 101 benchmarks. So what is 102 about? It's an analysis of the site, the market, and the client's needs. It's a guess based on projections, of the best projections we can muster. They may or may not be based on history. It's fun. I think the 102 material is where we really start to see all of this come alive. And I also believe it's the most underutilized and likely most profitable part of our business. It is one of the best places to add value because our competitors don't. What CCIM 102 is not, it's not accurate to 1 decimal place, much less 4. If you were one of those folks who in 101 really focused on nailing those calculations to 4 decimal places, in 102, you're going to find we're going to lose a couple of numbers along the way, and we're going to say, you know what, over here on the West Coast, you guys got the right answer, and over here on the East Coast, you're a couple points off, and you also got the right answer. It's about taking historical data, projecting it in the future, and making our best guess. The 102 material also is not dry, and it's not particularly difficult. 102 is about finding the deal. We understand that all markets are different. Our job in 102 is to spot the best market or the best location. Let's do a first analysis on a basic form of real estate I think everyone loves. How about monopoly? Now, I'm lucky enough to come from a family of commercial realtors, and this is my 3 young children here. This picture's a little old now. They're 12, 10, and 7, and possibly the 5th generation in my family to work on commercial real estate. And one of their favorite games is to play Monopoly. What a surprise. Now you can see here in this picture, that's my dad there in the center, my oldest boy, Zach, to his right, or I guess to my dad's left, to our right, and my son Ian there on the left, and you can see my mom's hands there in the bottom right corner. And yes, I'll confess, that's my laptop in the bottom left corner. You know how long Monopoly games can run, right? Well, my 2 boys, they love to play, and Zach is really the wheeler dealer. He's always out there looking to make the trades, doing acquisitions, and Ian's the property manager and banker. Ian loves to watch as the rents come in and make sure he collects every dollar that's due. They make for a deadly team in playing Monopoly. But you know how long Monopoly can run. So one day I'm sitting there with my laptop, checking some emails, making some spreadsheets, and I wondered, has anyone ever applied the 101 analysis to the Monopoly board? Now, if we go back and look at a little bit of history, what would you guess has the highest cap rate on the Monopoly board? Would it be the Mediterranean, the kind of bottom-feeding properties, those high cash flow generators? Sometimes we call them the ones located in the war zone or those difficult areas located next to Go? Could it be the properties around free parking? Or maybe it's the high-profile, high-net-worth trophy properties, Broadway and Park Place. I'm sorry, Boardwalk and Park Place. Well, actually, it turns out the lowest cap rates are those first properties you hit as you come off of Go, Mediterranean, Baltic, at a 3.3% cap rate. Now, the way we arrived at the cap rate is we just took the rent that you collect when somebody lands on it, and we divided it by the purchase price you paid for the land. By the time you move around to St. Charles, you're at a 7.1% cap rate. Just after free parking at Kentucky is an 8.2 cap rate. And Marvin Gardens, right before you go to jail, is 8.7. And believe it or not, Park Place and Boardwalk are a 12.5% cap rate. Now, if you add hotels to these properties, the cap rate soars from 80 to 142%, but that's just a little bit misleading because we know that in order to make that happen in Monopoly, you have to secure all of the other properties of the same color, and those are not taken into the calculation. So for now, excuse me, we're going to focus on those rents collected on each of those properties. If you know a little bit about the history of Monopoly, I would have guessed, since it was a Depression-era game, that the cap rates would have averaged 5%. Never in my wildest dreams would I have said the lowest rent properties are going to get the lowest cap rates and the trophy properties the highest cap rates. It seems counterintuitive. But do we know everything we need to know? Does this change your overall strategy? Are there other factors that could impact your decision? And where does the old real estate adage about location, location, location come into play in the game of Monopoly? Well, I was curious and did a little bit of Googling one day, and it turns out that Scientific America had a white paper generated a number of years ago where somebody created a computer program that played the two different strategies that most people play when they're doing Monopoly. The first strategy is that when you go to jail, you stay in jail as long as possible. And the second strategy is when you go to jail, you get out of jail as quickly as possible by paying your money. Now, there's only a slight difference between these two. But what we see when we look at the Monopoly board is the most popular place, the place that's most visited, the place that has the best location on Monopoly, is jail. And the reason for that are there are two squares that get you to jail. There's in jail, just visiting jail, that square, and then there's the go to jail square. And then in the chance cards, and there's a number of opportunities to get sent to jail. So, if that becomes your starting point, then it seems like all of those sites that follow 2 through 12 on the dice end up being the most popular pieces of real estate. And in fact, Illinois Avenue is the #1 traveled piece of real estate after jail, followed by Go, which you can't collect any rent on. B&O Railroad, I think most of us know that even from our childhood. We remember always get the B&O Railroad. Free parking, Tennessee Avenue, New York Avenue, Reading Railroad, St. James Place, Pennsylvania Railroad, Kentucky, Indiana, and St. Charles. You can see here the #1 most visited properties are the orange ones right before free parking, followed by the red group. So the overall probability of landing on each of these decreases the further away you get from Go. What would that do to your overall strategy? Well, it seems like you would modify your location to take advantage of a venue that got more traffic and therefore higher rents and a higher return. That, in a nutshell, is the kind of things we'll be looking at in the 102 courses, in the next 10 sessions. Some other examples that are out there. Many of us have heard that real estate's all about location, location, location. Richard Zimmern of the Arden Realty Group would tell you the first 3 rules in real estate are always timing, timing, timing. We will do that in 102 as well. We will spend quite a bit of time looking at market timing and how our landlords and clients and tenants can take advantage of the ups and downs in the economy and our local real estate cycle. A great friend of mine, Sam Foster, fellow instructor in CCIM, is a big sports fan, and he follows Wayne Gretzky. And if Sam was here today, he would tell us that Wayne was not the tallest player in the National Hockey League. He was not the fastest player in the National Hockey League. He couldn't hit the puck faster than anybody else, and yet he was the most successful hockey player out there. And as he retired, he was asked, "Wayne, what made you so successful?" And he summed it up very succinctly when he said, "I don't go to where the hockey pucky is. Hockey pucky. I don't go to where the hockey puck is. I go to where the hockey puck is going to be. And that's what we're going to do in 102. We're going to project the future and figure out where our local economy, our own portfolio of real estate, our clients' portfolio of real estate, and our national economy are going, and how can we best take advantage of that. What Alex and I want for you for the next 10 sessions is we want to build up your confidence so you feel fully prepared to deal with the exam sometime the week after. But we also want you to have the ability to go in and use these skill sets in your day-to-day materials. My own personal belief is as you travel the world and visit other CCIMs or CCIM candidates, you will find they all know the 101 skill set. Very few of them apply the 102 skill set, which to me means that's the place to add the most value. Now, your immediate assignment is I'd like you to upload an introduction of yourself. And I've got some key points I'll cover in the next slide. I'd like you to set aside some time for the course in your calendar. For every 2-hour session we have, there will be another 2 hours of offline sessions that you'll also need to be working. That means homework, pre-course work, reviewing materials, reading through the book, doing work on the CD-ROM, and yes, indeed, some group work. Now, to get a chance, to make sure we all have a chance to meet each other, we're not all physically together, we have loaded into the Blackboard Classroom a place where you can go in and do a virtual introduction. If you would like, you can do like Alex and I did and make a video of yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are. Or if you want to keep it simple, you could just simply log into Blackboard and let us know your name, your company, your trade area, what you specialize in, the number of years you've been in the business, something about you that few people know, and keep in mind that this introduction should become part of your professional online profile. If you chose to do what we did, which is to upload it in YouTube, then it's just one more click away to put it up on your website. All right, now you know your assignment, you know your instructors this week. We look forward to, for the next 10 sessions, and I really haven't made this transition. We're so used to teaching the course all in 1 week. Now I've got it spread over 10 sessions, so my apologies. But you know your instructors for the next 10 sessions. What I'd like you to do is be sure that you introduce yourself to everybody else in the classroom by doing this introductory assignment. And let's get it done before session 2, which will be this coming Thursday.